Welcome back to the $1 million Tipping Point podcast. Today we have Esther Isman on the show. I'm very happy to have you. Thank you so much for being here. And you guys, if you can't see the video, you really should go to YouTube, check out the video because Esther is so glamorous. She's probably the most glamorous person I have interviewed so far, which makes me embarrassed of my little home office backdrop right now because you just look so nice.
Thank you.
All right, just as a reminder, we are brought to you by the Tipping Jar of Wisdom, where as an email subscriber, you get access to our exclusive content every Thursday straight to your inbox with actionable tasks from our guests that will help you grow your business. So head over, connect with me on Instagram at virtually Kiri or LinkedIn, Kiri Mohan, and sign up through my bio. Also, if you're looking to start or grow your business, be sure to sign up for my monthly biz growth workshops, also found in my Instagram bio. So hello, Esther. Esther arrived in Canada as an immigrant in 1989 with $1,000. She had one mission in life, and that was to be a millionaire one day, and nothing was going to stop her, not even the recession in 1989 through 1990. Esther worked at a coffee shop just to learn a little bit of English so she could communicate. Then she ran a showroom in the fashion industry. Esther took a store that made $200,000 a year and the high-end mall and turned it into $600,000 in annual sales. Later on, she was approached by a brand baker to open the first flagship store. She opened the store and was hired by one of her clients to be a model right away. She understood she was not a model and became a distributor for a shoe company later on with the designer of the company in 2018. She became a real estate agent after 3 years, and she held the title of earning $1 million in commission working with Remax. She has been in the top 10 producers in her office. After searching for ways to grow her brand, she came across Grant Cardone and became a licensee as her next step to expanding her empire. Esther believes that anyone has the potential to become someone they wish to be. She says that we are all born with the same opportunities, and every minute that passes waiting around to start your journey won't come back. So it is never too late to start something. Esther can't wait to expand her empire and help others achieve their dreams. And your dream is her mission. Hello, welcome.
Hi, everyone. Thanks for having me. This is very exciting. And I'm looking forward to impact a few people, maybe, with my point of view in life. And
I think you will. I can already tell. So tell us about your business right now and where it stands and what you're doing with your empire.
Okay, so right now I'm actually doing two things. So I am the team leader for YOLO Realty Group, and we're part of Keller Williams, but we are a group of beautiful 5 ladies that's really impacting the market quite well. We're top producers. And then I also just launched my University of Life. And it's really pretty much the way it sounds. I want to teach each and every one, what they can do with their life, and not 20, 30 years later, kind of sit down with themselves and say, oh, what did I do? Did I really impact anybody? Why am I still in the same position? So that's one of the reasons that I decided to launch. It's in-person, kind of little community academy that we meet every Tuesday for about an hour and a half. And and we talk about different subjects in life, and it's all self-growth or business growth, pretty much, very much focused on that.
Tell us where you're located, just in case anyone listening is interested.
So we are located in Vaughan, which is a city in the GTA in Toronto. So we have an actual office. That's in Vaughan, Toronto, in Canada.
In Canada, yes. If anyone doesn't know where Toronto is, which I hope people would. So I was looking at your University of Life website, and you said it's a revolutionary program designed to help businesses grow their income by 30% within just 90 days. And it also sounds like it can be anything life related. Are you finding people are joining more who have their own businesses and who run their own businesses? Or is it really just open to anyone?
So it's open to anyone. It's really open for anybody, I'd say 16 and up. And I find that a lot of kids at this time that attending university are very confused. They don't know, I'm taking all these courses. What am I going to do next? I have a minus $100,000 in the bank. How do I proceed? How do I take life to the next step? And it is quite devastating in a way. I know in my generation, we always knew what we wanted to be. It was very simple. We always had a target. I want to be a lawyer. I want to be an engineer. And I find that a lot of the kids right now, I don't want to say kids, but the teenagers or even the university students coming out with no directions. So it's target to really that kind of group, and also to businesses. So a lot of businesses are in an area that they reach a cap and they want to grow and they kind of feel stuck. How do we go next? I think living in this time, it's a lot of, back in the days, we didn't have a lot of marketing, right? It was just like calling people, or you had your sign outside that people walked by. And I think this whole revolution of marketing and having our iPhones and our laptops and Zoom took away a lot of customers from I think an actual business. So I feel like I want to impact and teach the businesses to go to the next level, and it can be anywhere. Somebody that making $5,000 a month to millions of dollars, that we can take them with the program of Grant Cardone that is offering. So I'm a licensee by Grant. We offering businesses and individuals to have growth within the next 90 days if they follow the steps.
Mm. Oh, interesting. That is cool. So I want to kind of know a little bit about what differentiates you from other people. You're talking about the store that you had that was at $200,000 a year, and then you turned into $600,000 annual sales a year. You clearly have something within you that makes you stand out from other people. What do you think that is?
Confidence. It all starts with your ego and confidence. And I'm sorry, people say put your ego away, but no, walk in with your ego, because you become a magnet. When you show confidence, this is the number one thing to earn your contacts. When you walk into a room, don't be shy. Walk into a room and mingle and see who's that person in charge, who's that person that's going to take you to the next step in life, because every contact can be a contract. And that's where I think I'm very different. So I walk in with confidence. To tell you that I'm 100%, and I do have I wouldn't say shy, but sometimes I'll walk into a room and kind of scan it and not feel insecure, but I kind of want to know who I want to talk to. So I am very selective, I want to say, who I want to talk to. But I'm telling you, have your confidence, let the fear go, and just walk in there. And honestly, this is the best way. Like, I know we all have fear. We all have downtime. We all feel like, oh, shoot, not again. Like, right? We have hectic days. I mean, of course, we're all human. But forget that. Just like, my mother always told me as a kid, Esther, when you fall, stand right up, because the pain is going to be so much less. The longer you sit on the ground thinking about your fall, the longer the pain is going to be there. And that's something that I always took with me. And I took it to every avenue and every in life. I always thought of it, you know what? There's always tomorrow. Things will change. Breathe. Yes, you can have a stressful day, but there's always the next day that's going to be better. Right. And I think that's something that I could say, let the fear go, walk with your confidence, build your confidence. And I think you really have to discover yourself. Many of us living in our own body, not knowing our potential. We always think of the negativity of, oh, we're not like them. We don't look as good as them. They have more confidence than us. And this is where I'm going back to what I said. We were all born the same, with the same potential. So almost have to discover who I am. What can I offer to my friend, my families, to my clients? And it starts with that. That's where I think I'm different. So I don't know if I was born this way. I developed it with time, but I've always had that confidence, I think.
I was going to ask you if you do any self-development work. Do you do anything when you wake up, or like any habits that you have that help instill this every day? Or is it just this like innate feeling you have within you?
No, I don't meditate. I don't exercise. Sorry, guys. I think I work 24/7. I think we all have 24 hours, but I don't do anything like that. The first thing I do is I chase. I wake up in the morning, and being a realtor, you really have to hustle and chase your goals. You can't just wake up and have 10 appointments, but if you chase it, you will. So I don't really plan my day, but I plan everything in the day. So I write everything down, and I do write my goals down. Now, I don't write my big goals down every day, but I do write to myself, call so and so, reach out to so and so, door knock, um, get back to so and so by email. So I have those goals and targets that I think we should all have, and I write them down. I
Mhm.
don't put them as an assignment. I put them as this is what to do.
This is
And I
what you
think
have to get done
that
today.
exactly. And I think it starts with that,
Mm.
right? And the more people you reach out that day, the more successful you're going to be, because we all wake up the same way. Some of us go to work Monday to Friday 9 to 5, and just go attend our job and then get out of there, and then we have our life with our family. But it's really where you want to go. That's the question. And I think in the launch that I did, a lot of them kind of came to me and say, you know what, you really opened up my mind. I work for this company for 30 years, and yeah, I wake up every day, I get my paycheck, and this is it. So maybe I'll get management position, but what's next? I still have that
Yeah.
stress of Monday to Friday, right?
I think I have that little drive in me too that sometimes it's like I don't want to be 40 years from now like, oh, I didn't take that chance. I didn't take that leap. I let fear hold me back, and I can't stand that feeling. And I think that does differentiate a lot of ambitious women. I think some people are okay with that feeling of like, oh, this is where I am, but you know what? I've got a really comfortable life. I'm really happy with my home life or whatever it is, or I get time to do hobbies or whatever. And that's okay for them. And for me, sometimes it's boggling, but I try to be, respectful if that's okay. But for me, I also have that drive. Like, what can I do next? What can I do that I will regret not doing? I don't want to look back and say, I wish I had done that. Right. So I found in my research of you that in November 2019, you died from a car accident and a major seizure, and you're diagnosed with epilepsy. Is that true? I read that
Very,
right?
very
How
true.
did
So
you bounce
this
back
is a
from that?
this is a crazy situation. And I think that was a wake up call also, you know, of we're not guaranteed tomorrow. So live today to the fullest and plan tomorrow. Um, so what happened is this is a miracle actually. I'm quickly going to tell you about it. So a friend of mine called me. I was in the middle of reno in my house and talking on the phone to my contractor, and she wanted to go and watch Charlie's Angels. And
Oh,
I
yeah.
said, sure, I'm in. How crazy that is, right? I think they were with me instead of being in the movie. We went, I drove, I remember driving, making a ride. The last scene in my head that was on the phone with my contractor and seeing a gas station, and that's it. I passed out. My car drove on a Friday at 6 p.m. on its own, and I wasn't driving a Tesla. I have to stress that. I was just driving a Lexus truck on its own about 5 kilometers with about 6 sets of lights on a Friday, bumper to bumper on a major street. So whoever familiar with Toronto, Yonge Street is the largest street in the world and the most busiest street. So it was bumper to bumper. I did not kill anyone, but based on witnesses that stayed, of course, an hour later, my girlfriend calls my kids and they're not answering. And my husband answered and he said she left an hour ago. She should have been there. It's about a 25 minutes drive with traffic. So my husband picked up the phone and called my cell phone. And at the time, a witness gave a statement to the police officer. As he's giving the statement, my husband calling, his picture and my picture are on my cell phone when he dials in. So the guy that was giving this testimonial said, I went to high school with this guy. It's her husband. Exactly. Talk about coincidence. And my husband is 50 years old. So that was like 32 years old. I mean, way back.
Yeah.
The police officer answered the call and said, your wife had a very bad, severe car accident. She hit a bus. Eventually, my car let go. So the whole time I was driving, and after 5 sets of lights, about 5 kilometers, I let go. When I passed out, I let go and I hit a bus in a corner of a bus coming out the opposite side. So talk about miracles. I mean, this is a whole miracle. I passed out from a major, major seizure. I don't have any memories. I don't know. Everything is by people telling me. Eventually, I woke up at the hospital. I was foaming. They had to get me from the back of the car. Apparently, this is what they were saying. Immediately, they asked me, "Do you remember anything?" And I said, "No." I remember being on the phone in this location. They said, "There's no way. There's no way your car made it that far. And you didn't hit anyone. You didn't kill anyone. You didn't hit a car, a pole. There's no way." And we figured that this was a miracle. How is it possible? How can I drive, bumper to bumper on Friday, 6 p.m., everybody going home? So then I was diagnosed with epilepsy, and I never had it. It's no one in my family have it. And apparently you can get it at any time, at any point in life. If you have stress, it can trigger it. And I think we all have stress, right? So I was diagnosed and my license was taken, but that's just a practice for 6 months. So you can imagine being a real estate agent without a license. How is it possible? You can't take an Uber to meet a client. You can, but it's just like not professional. And this is when I woke up and I said, oh, I got to turn this around and I got to make the best out of it. And this was my best year ever in real estate. So I
Oh,
pretty much,
how did you do that though? Like, so, because it's like your story is the same. Like, you come to Canada with only 3 words of English and $1,000, and somehow you managed to push through that and become one of the best salespeople. And then it's like
hustling,
you have,
hustling. You know what? I had no choice. It's called, I have two choices. One is sit home and cry about it and worry about my condition. Two is forget about it, deal with it, take the medicine and move forward. And don't let it stay in your back of your mind. Just kind of ignore it and cherish the moment. You got your life back, right? So forget about what happened. So I took action and I decided to, we have choices. You could take no action, you could take action, you could take a bad action, or you could take a chance in life. And I did. I took that chance. And I pretty much told my husband, you know what? I'm designating you as my driver. You're going to take me everywhere because I choose to be successful and nothing's going to stop me, not even that disease and not even all our appointments for medical. I'm just going to go forward and push forward. And I decided to do it. And I just said, forget about it. Thank God for what happened and move forward. So I think I really, instead of being in the car going in circles and looking for potential business, I sat in home and I created business. And I made more appointments and I had no choice. I had to call people and I don't think anybody felt bad for me to give me their listing, but I think I was more concentrating on, okay, I got to get the best out of it. I have 6 months I can sit at home. I don't have that. It's not in me to be I don't want to say a housewife because my kids were older at the time. So the house is always clean and stuff, but it was more like, I have no choice. Let's do it. This is the only choice I have. Let's do it. And this is
now,
what I did.
did your husband work? So like, how did he manage that with driving you
So he
everywhere?
did. He did. He worked, but I think I kind of condensed everything to seeing everybody at certain time.
Hmm.
And so the morning I dedicated to phone calls and reaching out to customers, and then the evenings or middays when he could have taken me. But he's also self-employed, so it helps a
Okay.
lot.
That does help. That does help.
Yeah.
So do you have a team under you right now? You do,
Yes, I'm a
right?
team
The 5.
leader. Yes, we have girls working with us. It's all girls, ladies power, um, and they're great. They're great. We're all amazing. We're all hustler. We all care about our clients, and that's the beauty of this team is we don't work for our paycheck. We actually work for our clients, and this is one of the magic in life. Money is great. Money is gonna come, but really work with your customer needs. Give them that extra mile. Okay, it's all about customer service. No matter what you do in life, we all best salespeople, right? I'm selling myself to you at the moment. My husband told me it's raining outside. He's selling me the weather outside, the news selling us what the conditions out, in the
Mhm.
economy. Everybody's born to be in sales, right? So I feel that our magic is giving 100% to our client, and customer care and customer service is number one. And I think the moment you give that, and everybody want to feel being taken care of, no matter what, if it's a $1 sale or it's multi-million-dollar sale, they all want to feel that somebody's looking after them. And I think that's the magic.
Have you ever hired someone on your team that has not been a good fit? That maybe
Two.
was just two. Okay. So tell us about how now you maybe have learned from that and make sure not to
Right.
hire people like that again in the future.
So I believe in giving everybody a chance. I believe that everybody and anybody have the potential, and everybody can be molded to your needs. But they have to be open-minded. So I hired one guy that didn't have much experience, which I was okay with. I'm like, okay, I can give him my experience. He can tag along my knowledge. But one thing he did, he went away and never told us. And I'm reaching out to him by text messages, emails, leads. No answer, which left me no choice to get the broker involved and said, you know what, this is not a good fit. We would have to let him go. He later on called and apologized and say he was away on a trip. And I understand, you're welcome to go away, but let me know. And I don't believe
Right.
your phone wasn't open. I don't believe you were in a space that there's no internet for 30 days, right?
30
So
days. Wow.
30 days. So that's where I said, he's not enthusiastic. He's not all there. He's not eager to be successful. So that wasn't a good fit because that reflects on me. I'm a team leader. I have to answer these clients. At the end of the day, it's my name. It's even not a brokerage name. We're facing the client. The client doesn't care who's behind us. If it's Remax, Keller Williams, Home Life, they don't care about that big brand. They care about us. We're facing them, right? If there's any complaint, they'll come to us. And this is where I said, I'm sorry, but this is not going to work out. And then we had another lady coming in and join, beautiful lady, nice girl, young, had potential, but her mother got involved. I did not hire your mother. I hired you. And that was another not good fit. So, things like that happens. And it's nothing. She's beautiful, talented, gorgeous girl. And it's not about the beauty. She had potential, but the moment you and this is where I want to lead into, your friends and your family can be your worst enemy sometimes. Not in a way that they hate you, but in your potential. And this is where I'm going to take you to the next step, where I joined Grant Cardone. Everybody told me, why do you need to pay? You have so much talent. You have so much knowledge. You could just use your knowledge. 100%. I can use my knowledge. I have my own brand. I created my brand. But guess what? He's got 4 million followers. He's got his content already online. I don't need to hire anybody to type it up for me. I can actually leverage on his content and his success. He's worldwide known. So why not pay for it and leverage on it and take that? And when I wanted to join, people said to me, are you crazy? That's a ton of money. I agree. I agree with you. It's a lot of money. But if that saves me time and if that gives me immediate success, then money means nothing, right? I'm going to get it back.
Are you willing to share how much it cost?
25,000 US, plus traveling, which we have to travel quite a bit to, it's not just, it doesn't end with buying the licensee. So to give you the equivalent in Canadian, it's $40,000. But it doesn't, it's including, there's on top of it, there's traveling. So probably I'm at $60,000 now because I wanted to attend his boot camps. It's not just buying the product, it's how you're going to use it. And we can all learn from it. So you have to continue going to and attend his events and really believe in it, because buying the content and doing nothing with it means nothing, right? So
I'm not in the real estate agent world at all.
You don't have to be.
So he is someone that, like, it's not just specifically for real estate agents. It can be for anyone who's okay.
Yeah. Okay. His specialties is multifamily, but that's not what he does. He's got many companies within. So he's got, the business aspect. He's got the individual growth. He's got the real estate growth. You could become an investor. He's got the 10x health. So there's
Okay.
so many avenues there that you can really pick and grow on that. So it's not just real estate.
Okay. We'll link to him in our show notes so that people can find out more if they're interested. So, was your goal always, it was to hit 7 figures? So, if you were like set on that goal, what were the steps you took to get to that? And how long did it take you, do you think?
So I took chances on myself. It took me, so I started with real estate, first of all. That's how I made some money. So I pretty much purchased my first townhouse when I was 28 years old. And I just believed, and again, this is where my mentor, so I never really had a mentor, but my mentor was, I remember reading Donald Trump's book. And he always said, use the bank money to make money. That's what stuck in my head. And what I did is I bought a townhouse and I put my 20% down and I started, paying myself versus paying a landlord. I mean, right? The mortgage.
Mm.
Then I continue, I practiced the same way. Had 20%, bought another one in another condo, in another house, in another condo. And that's when my equity grew really a lot. Because I don't know if you're familiar with real estate in Toronto, it's gone up quite a bit over the years. It's very different than the US. And that's why I created my mega money, mega plus. I owned a company for a shoe company. So I was, like you mentioned, I opened the first Ted Baker store in Canada on Bloor Street, which is a very main designer street. And I had a guy that came in he was living in the area and he came in just to look at some clothing and he talked to me and he really liked the way I spoke and the way I handled the customer service. And he said, I need a model for this weekend. And I was like, sure, am I going to get free shoes? And he said, absolutely. So here I am. I'm going to walk into that, how I made money. I went to the shoe show and I became a model because I had the perfect feet, apparently, 6.5. Medium narrow heel, that's called the perfect feet. And I remember going into the shoe show and typically people don't necessarily write orders, special big companies, right? Because I've met many stores. So they kind of send you in the order. And I tried the shoes and this guy that I was presenting at the time, pretending to be a model, he said to me, how do they feel? And I start talking about comfort, and I really start selling him the product. And at the end, I said, okay, will you write the order? And the guy that hired me looks at me like, where are you coming from? And I said to the guy, well, it's easy. Let's do it together. Let's pick the colors, the styles. So now I'm selling it to this guy. And you know what? I broke the ice. This is the first time ever he gave an order at the shoe show.
Oh, wow.
And that's when we figured out, he said, you know what? No, you're not a model. I'm going to be hiring you. And he was a big brand at the time, Nina Shoes. And he hired me immediately to be a national sales manager for the brand. So I had to travel quite a bit across Canada and the US. And that's how I opened up later on my own agency and had my own brand that it was called Esh by S.D. Eisman. And I did very, very well. For about 18 years, I lived on airplanes. So I manufactured all over the world. And my specialty was in flats. I had the best ballerinas until these days, people calling me, do you still have them in stock? And no, of course, I moved on 6 years ago to real estate. But it was fun. It was great. And I broke quite a bit, like a lot of rules by a lot of companies, because I remember one of them was I traveled to Kingston, Ontario, and I traveled to Ottawa. That's 4.5 hours away. And I remember going into this company that had about 15 stores, and I'm sitting there and I'm giving him, the whole spiel about the collection. And he said, okay, we'll get back to you with the order. And I said, what do you mean? I didn't drive 4.5 hours here for you to tell me you'll get back to me. I have the whole time. I'm here all night. I'm sitting outside while your assistant can write the order. He's like, no, we always send it back. And I'm like, no, I'll wait outside. I insisted, and he wrote the order. Guess what? This is where I'm coming to. Don't take no for an answer. If they gave you the time, if they gave you the day, They will write you the offer. Many of us instantly say no to many things, and at the end we give up and we buy, right? And he gave me the order, and that's when my boss at the time said, wow, you broke so many rules here and so many. He says, you're amazing. Like, it's a talent. And that's where I think everybody, we all have it. Come on, it's nothing. It's simple. Just insist. I'm here. I've got all day. I understand. Yeah, it may take you a few hours to write it. I understand. You don't have the time right now. I hear you. I agree with everything they say, but still insist to get that order.
Hmm.
And I think that giving that extra mile helps. Trust me, it helps. So that's how I got to my millions. So it was with the shoe business, with my real estate. And yeah,
You don't
and
have the shoe business still, do you?
not anymore, because everything has been shifted to internet, and we kind of felt like, you know what, it's time to let it go. I did have offers that people wanted to buy the brand and the whole production, but I chose not to do that because I felt it was very personal. It was also under my name, so I didn't want anybody ruining my name. Right? It was Ash by S.D. Eisman. We had an amazing product, amazing. And I loved every minute and I miss it, but it was time to move on.
Mm.
Yeah.
All right. Well, what did that feel like though, after putting all that effort into the shoe store, all those sales, breaking those records to say, I'm not going to let someone buy this? Were you tempted? You make it sound easy. Like you make it sound like, oh no, it was my
So
name. I didn't want to.
I'm going back to the basics. It's not about the money. You know what? Money comes. Money is there all the time. It's not about the money. It was more about my legacy almost. And I had clients that said, it's too bad you're letting it go. Such a good product. We were sold out of it. And I was also on the shopping channels. And before we even launched, we were almost sold out, right? And had no sizes. It was easy to let go. Honestly, I think I had more hard time with not traveling anymore. I loved it. I loved every minute of it. I loved meeting people. I loved having that, excitement of putting a new collection all the time and seeing people loving it. That was more of where I was missing it. And it's not worth it. It wasn't worth it. Like I could have sold it for probably $1 million back then, right? But why? Why would I do that? I wanted to let's leave that as a novelty, as a good taste in somebody's mouth, and not let someone else take it over, maybe make it better or maybe ruin it, right? Now it's in people's head. It was the best shoe I've ever owned. And I have messages until these days, people reaching out to me, and I'm like, sorry. So I kind of wanted to live it like, I want to leave a good taste. Anything I do, it's not just for the money. I want people to remember me, really, to remember what I did and how I impacted their feet. Their feet is like the most important thing. Could you imagine going to an event and your feet uncomfortable? No matter, you can wear $10 million dress by I don't care who, and if your feet are uncomfortable, you're miserable.
Yep.
So I kind of did something that always said, you know what? No, we're not selling it. We're just going to close it and move forward. Yeah.
I do think I do think that takes a lot of guts to be able to say, like, or maybe confidence. Let's use that word that
Confident.
you talked about in the beginning, like confidence to say, I'm not going to sell it. I'm not going to take that money. I'm going to leave a legacy instead, because who knows what's going to happen if I do sell it. That takes a lot of confidence. And I like that. So now that you've gone through so many different businesses, let's talk about the investments and the balance between making money and spending money. Because there's, often this confusion, I think, from people who are not in seven figures businesses that, oh, you're taking home that seven figures all the time, which is not necessarily true. So how do you balance making money and then spending money and making those decisions?
Let's start with money grows on trees. For all of you that don't know that, and we just say it, money grows on trees. So you can Google it. It actually does, right? Whatever we produce paper with grows on trees. So money gets bored. And I know we were all taught as kids that we have to save for dark days, right? We were everybody said, put your money away for, rainy days. I never did that. Honestly, I don't keep money in the bank. I don't believe in putting money in the bank because what the bank does is giving it to other investors to invest. I believe with using the money to make money. So take that chance. By not taking the chance, you have more to lose. That's number one. But take that chance and use your money to create passive money. Okay, so that's where my investments are coming from, right? So take that chance, buy that property, take the mortgage. Later on, it's going to create equity, leverage, buy the next one. So continue doing that. And many of us don't have that gut to do it, but do it. Okay, I'm telling you. This is the only way of making money, because I used to invest in the stock market, and I'm left today with a piece of paper that I'm ashamed to even frame. It's worth 1 cent. 1 cent. I can't even visit it. I can't see it. That's why I invested my money in real estate. I can touch it. I can feel it. It's always there. It's standing, right? That's my vision about money. Money gets bored. Money gets cycled. So don't spend the money. You have to spend money on marketing. In order for your business to accelerate and grow, you have to market it. Nobody knows about you if you don't put it on out there. And today we have so many tools. Like your cell phone, you can make money with no money. Use your cell phone. Just advertise yourself, right? There's so many ways of making money with your cell phone, which is everybody today have that smartphone. So you don't necessarily need a product to make money. Sell services, leverage from other people. For example, open a company for service, right? It could be you can contract other contractors to work for you and just say, you're a broker for a plumber, electrician. So leverage from other people. That's just one idea. You can make money that way. How do you balance, you said? Sorry, let's go back to that question of how do you balance?
How do you balance the spending money and the making money?
You have to spend money to make money. You have to. I know it's difficult to write a check to a marketing company or to grow your business with other employees. You can't do it by yourself. It's impossible, right? You have to hire people to help you leverage and grow. So I know it's scary to write that paycheck every day, every month, and you may not have it, but I'm sure there's other ways of you or even getting grants from the families, not the families, from the government. You got to search it. But you're going to have to grow together and make sure whoever you're hiring is going to help you. And it's going to help you to sit in the driver's seat if you can't do it, right? So let's say I have a business for real estate and I'm hiring now these other girls that we're going to all work together and offer, more to our clients. I would like to collaborate with a marketing company that I can maybe, leverage with my followers. So maybe they will take a little less money, but I'm going to market them on my social media, right? So be very creative of who you're hiring. So if you need to hire someone that have knowledge in marketing, but in the meantime, they can also do cold calling or whatever it takes, whatever business you're in. So make sure whoever you're hiring can actually give you more leverage. What I'm trying to say is use their knowledge, get down to the bottom, really what you really know, hire them, but leverage off their knowledge. So for example, now you talking to me, we're doing a podcast, right? This could be one of our marketing that we can get customers out of that, right? So don't be afraid by hiring people. Don't be afraid to going to events and meeting people. Even if you have to pay, they're called BNA. There's groups in Canada that a couple of people get together in a different profession and they help each other, right? They leverage of each other. So maybe that's another way of making money and growing your business, right? Offer things for free. Maybe that's another way of growing your business. Do some events. And I know it's going to cost you money, but maybe you'll get a couple clients out of it, right? So this is what I think. You have to expand. You have to spend money to make money. That's the only way. No one knows about you unless you spend the money and you let them know I exist. I'm here. Stop by my store or come by my brokerage or, this is what I offer, right? Visit my store online, whatever it is.
Where do you see your business going in the next 5, 5 years, let's say? Because I know you have the University of Life now, and you're also doing the real estate. So where do you see that going in the next 5 years?
So with my real estate, I'd like to expand up to 50 agents. We have a target of having 20 this year. So we're already at 5. We're interviewing a few more. So I think we'll definitely get the target for this year. Would love to have 50 under YOLO Realty Group. And by the way, YOLO stands for you only list once when you list with us.
Ah, of course, I didn't even ask about that because I thought it was you only live once, like the
No one
standard
does.
YOLO. But oh
You
my
see,
gosh, that's
no one
great.
does. So I just wanted to stress
That's
that.
great. I like that.
So with the real estate, yeah, we're gonna do probably 50 agents. So anything I do is I multiplied by 10. So feel free to put crazy goals out there. Because you see me, I reached 1 million. Now I'm aiming for millions, 100 million. So my next 5 years is to have assets of 100 million.
Mm.
Okay, so that's my next 10 years, 5 years from now. And that could be a combination of the school with real estate. And with the school, I would love to get this concept going and really approach Grant Cardone and tell him, I love your licensee. I'm passionate. Cardone and I when I close my eyes, it's almost I'm talking to myself. And that's why I related to his style. He's very simple. He will let you know what you don't want to hear. And that's what I do. I let people know, include my customers, what they don't want to hear. And I think they really cherish and they really love that. They love that confident that I have the guts to tell them, even if it means I'm going to lose the sale or the listing. And I
And has
think,
that happened to you before where you
yes,
told them?
twice. I fired 2 clients that I said, I am sorry, but I cannot work with you. If you are not allowing me to do what it takes to sell your property, I can't work with you. And
What
guess
were
what?
they pushing back on? What specifically? What were they like, no, that you suggested?
Pricing. And I said, there's 2 reasons a house doesn't sell. It's either marketing or pricing. So when I show you marketing, there is 70,000 hits on that listing. That means marketing is there. We're lacking a problem with the price. And they were insisting on price.
Hmm.
And I said, I can't help you. It's not the price. A buyer is willing to, a house is worth what a buyer is willing to pay. We only need 1 buyer. And if there's no buyer like that, that means we're lacking price. So then I fired them twice, and there was 2 different clients, and they said to me, no, we're not letting you go. You're going to sell our house. And that's when they really appreciate my confidence, because any other agent will just want to have that sign outside their lawn. And I had 1 house that I said no to, and that was a $10 million home. And I said, I cannot represent you. This house is not a $10 million home. This house is worth $8 million. I'm not going to let you ruin my reputation for the neighborhood that this house was never sold.
Mm. Mm.
So a lot of real estate agents will just take the listings and see what happens. But I need to believe that I can do it and I can sell it. If I cannot fully believe in selling it, then I won't take the listing. And that's part of success, is be confident and really tell them what you think. And and going back to that, I mean, not many, but maybe few clients says, well, I'm interviewing few agents. I said, wonderful. I'll be the last one to come.
Hmm.
And then I would never leave the house until they sign the contract. And I'm being very nice and funny. And I would ask, what color pen would you like to sign? Blue or black? What's your favorite? And they would sign. They love it. They love it. They love the confident. So I think that's important. Be passionate about what you do. Show them that passion. I don't go with PowerPoints when I go for a listing presentation. I go with statistics. I look at the house. I'll give you my liver if I have to sell your house. But, I would have to tell you, we're going to have to stage it. We're going to have to paint it. We're going to have to put some lights. We're going to have to tweak it. And some people say, no, but I don't want to go through it. And I'm like, well, you want top dollars? That's what's going to take.
Mm.
So they give up to that, which is great. I mean, That's our knowledge. In terms of the university, going back to that. So I'm starting this concept, and I really want to have it very successful. And I know it will get successful because I can take no for an answer. So no, but is not in my vocabulary.
I figured that
Doesn't
out.
And if is not in my vocabulary. Okay, so if is not in my vocabulary, I don't take failures. I just insist. And I think I want to take that concept, make it work, go to Grant Cardone and say, Grant, this works. We need to have it in person. So if you're selling your licensee product, I'd like for you to sell it like this, that we can go and set up their school, and it would be a one-on-one kind of thing, a little community that they can, build. And at the same time, we are going to teach your university. So it's a concept that I want to present to him, but it's got to work before I go to Grant and tell him this is the concept of licensee, because Grant wants to impact 8 billion people. He wants to teach 8 billion people. So I want to help him. And I think that's the way to, you got to make noise, right? To do that Zoom one-on-one is great for somebody that's looking for that little paycheck, but I believe in millions of dollars. And if we're going to build literally universities to have to be successful in life, I think he would love it. I think it would work well, so we can sell it as a business, right? Not just a licensee to go on Zoom. That's my vision. So if you hear this, this is my vision. And I'm coming next week to the office anyway to get my certificate. So maybe I'll run it by you.
I'm going to tag him when we release this. I will tag him and say, there's a call for you in here.
Yes. And you know what? I spoke to him a few times on Zoom. He picked me out of 800 people to speak to, and I gave him my card. He once said, you and I will make millions. And I'm sure, and this is stuck in my head, and I'm going to insist on that. And his wife, Elena, is beautiful. And I think another tool to be successful is to have that. If you have a partner, you need him on board with you, and I know we have to, sometimes we have kids and we have to juggle, but we have to have our partners on board, because if they're not on board with you, they can drag you down. They will tell you, this is a terrible idea. This is not for you. This is going to take a lot of time from our family time. Yes, it will. But you know what? We're doing this for our kids. We're doing this for us, right?
That was a question I was geared up to ask. I wanted to ask about your support system, because you've mentioned your husband a few times. You mentioned your kids. So when did you have your kids throughout your career progression? At what point? Was it before the shoe store, after the shoe store?
So I had my kids at the age of 28. So basically, I was opening a mega store to a really big brand, and I only had 3 months maternity leave, so I had to hire a nanny. So my kids
that's like normal in the United States to have 3 months. I love international people because they're like,
now it's a year. So now it's a year in Canada. I'm a little late. But I had to hire a nanny, and we've had nannies through the whole time. And people say, yeah, nanny, grow your kids. Thank God my kids are very smart, very talented. My daughter works with me, Sydney, as a real estate agent. She went to UFT, a university, a really good university in Toronto. And the other one, Haley, very talented girl, going to Queen's. They always supported me. And I had to travel a ton. I used to live on airplanes, like doing 40 flights a week, a month, all over the world. I used to travel to China for the weekend. It's 16 and a half hours direct flight. I used to travel to Portugal for 2 days, to Vancouver for the night. But you have to, if you want to be successful, you have to hustle. There is no Sunday for family day, and I think they understand why. I was there as a mother, and now we have FaceTime. Back then we didn't have FaceTime, right? I was there as a mother, but I have to say they're very good kids. Nothing wrong with nannies. My partner was there. My partner was on board. He saw that my ambition, and he saw how I wanted to become successful. And I think that was important. You have to have somebody that really understands your goals and want to be there for you. And that's so important. Otherwise, there's a divorce. I mean, yeah, I got divorced, but that wasn't the reason, right? And I remarried again, and my husband is on board. He understands that I'm crazy and I want to be successful. He gets it. He gets it. I'm a hustler, and anybody that's in my, I think that anybody's in my circle of friends will tell you I'm a hustler. This girl, no matter what she's gonna do, she can sell ice to Eskimos. You know, no matter what she's going to do, she's gonna get it done. She's a hustler. That's my last name. Yeah.
So tell us a little bit about where we can find you online. If people want to connect with you, give us your University of Life information as well.
On Instagram, university_of_life. That's on Instagram. YOLO Realty Group is on Instagram. Best Realtor GTA is on Instagram. I can send you the links. On LinkedIn, it's Esther Eisman. On Twitter, Esther Eisman. On Facebook, Esther Eisman. Yeah, you can reach out to me anytime, and would love to, it's all about giving, and it's all about, I think, it's not about money. It's about what can I do for you? And my mission, your goals are my mission. So if you have a goal in life and you need help, it's my mission. I'm here to help.
What is one philosophy, mantra, or quote that you try to run your business by? You've given us so many. Maybe you could distill it down to one.
Success is my duty.
Success is my duty. That's great.
And it's yours too. If you want to be, if you want to be successful, dreams are just dreams with no action.
And what does it say behind you? I'm trying to read the quote behind you. It says the distance between dreams and reality is called action.
Correct.
That's good too.
Wish for it or work for it. She believed she could, so she did.
And you see those every day. You walk in and you see those great quotes. I love it.
Many times a day.
Yes. All right. Well, thank you so much for joining me for this interview. If you are listening to this show and you found it informative and valuable, I would like all you listeners, do me one little favor and help us grow this. So find one person that could be affected by Esther's interview who would be interested in it and share this show with them. And even if you have to open the podcast app on their phone, they'll thank you for it. And so until next time, make sure you find me on LinkedIn at Kiri Mohan or tag me on Instagram at Virtually Kiri. So again, thank you so much, Esther. We really enjoyed it. And
thank you, Kiri. Love it.
We are going to go and do exclusive content questions right now. So if you're part of the audience and you're not part of our email subscriber list, you'll want to sign up. You can find the information on Instagram in my bio, and you'll get some exclusive content on how to grow your business from Esther.